Wow.
Wow, this is some really deep stuff.
I don't know what just happened, but something happened inside of me. Something snapped, something clicked.
I wasn't expecting that
either. Sorry.
It's okay. It's all right. It's beautiful.
Monster is like really small, but it had to become that to stop me.
And then the hurt child became present when you mentioned it.
And I didn't realize this until now.
There were things that I didn't remember until now.
Funny, I haven't seen that before.
It feels like I'm the monster. I'm kind of seeing images of things. Of a world where they can exist. This clarity brings all kinds of answers.
It's clear. She hugged me and then went back to her place, I guess, in my heart. Oh, it wants to come out. It wants to bippity boppity boop Cinderella me. She's melted into my chest. It's ooey gooey.
All week been finishing things, cleaning up more, started eating vegetables again last week. And it kind of just started happening. It's almost like I just finished going through a meditation session.
I feel light. When you hit that first joint, in the morning, and
I actually feel a lot more awake.
One is about my dreams, which have changed lately. Is like most dreams, it's a bit hard to describe, but I have a very recurring theme in my dreams, have had all my life, about houses.
Okay.
And the theme has always been that inside the house are secret rooms and places which can't possibly match what the house looks like on the outside. In other words, they're huge. Inside is like a TARDIS. Inside is absolutely huge. And outside it looks like a little cottage. And in my dream, I go in and I find the way into these rooms inside. And they're quite often empty. They're quite often a bit run down. And they're just enormous.
Yeah.
And recently it's changed in that the house and the outside and the inside kind of match a little bit better. So the number of rooms, you'd look at the house from the outside and have a guess at how many rooms there are. And when I go inside, that's about how many rooms there are. There's no secret unexplored spaces. The difference is that the design of the house is completely chaotic. It's insane. You turn a corner from the kitchen and you're in, immediately in the bathroom, or the sunroom is in the middle of the house. In the center. It's insane. It's completely mad. It's quite interesting, but mad. And the other thing is that they are full of people, like crowds of people doing really important things, working on campaigns and stuff. And it's just such a whole different vibe. And I was just thinking about it the other day, and I suddenly went, oh, I wonder.
Yeah.
And I just thought it was interesting. I've never had house dreams like this before. It's crazy. It's just crazy.
Yeah. Okay. Wow.
I mean, I'm guessing that you've connected plenty of those dots already about.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. It's oh dear.
I do have a couple questions though, if I
Yeah.
may, about the dream
Yeah.
and how you feel in it.
Yeah.
So
Oh, right. Yes.
so when you're the fact that it's insanely designed, do you feel when you're navigating it like you're lost? Is that like a frustrated lost feeling, or?
Um. It's unpredictable rather than being lost. It's a feeling of unpredictable. Um. So never knowing what's going to be around the corner or what the next door that you open up, it's kind of unpredictable. And there's a little bit of, what would I call it? Trepidation in that, but I don't feel lost because I'm not trying to find anything. I'm just, I'm just wandering, I'm just looking to see what's there. It's kind of like the kind of wandering that you do in a museum,
And how do you feel about how do you feel about it being so full of people?
That's mad. Like it's too many people for me. And a lot of them, I hear them talking and I hear them explaining their views and opinions about things. And I think that I might like to join the conversation. And then I hear them say something else and I go, oh, fuck that. Ooh, yuck, don't like that.
All right.
So I veer away from them. And people that I thought were one thing turn out to be another. And there's too many of them. And it's all a bit hectic and chaotic, and they're charging around so much, And another interesting thing, there's one dream in particular that I'm remembering here, is that the house is a family home and there are parents in this house and they have kids. But there are all these other adults around, and I'm not sure that they, you just, when you have heaps of strangers and adults and people around your kids, you take a little bit of care with that,
Yeah.
Generally speaking, people are good, but you just take a little bit of care. And I don't feel that. It feels like the kids are stuck off in some other room somewhere watching the telly, and nobody's really making sure they're okay.
Yeah.
That was the latest dream I had. Yeah. So I don't know. It seems to map a bit too well onto everything, but
yeah, I'd say so.
But it is interesting. It's just funny. Dreams are funny.
And I don't know if it's been in my dreams, but I've certainly, in my personal meditations, I am almost always seeing my system as a house with many rooms, and kind of in mine each room is a different part, and I kind of go up and down and knock on all the doors and let them know it's time for pizza, and sometimes they don't come to the door, and that concerns me. And
from what I've read and things that I've heard, I think there are interestingly really common themes in human dreaming. No matter what part of the world or what culture you come from, there are themes in human dreaming. And there's a couple of themes around water, which is rising water particularly, and that's really common. Most people will tell you about dreams of rising water. And the other one is about homes or buildings, and that's a really common theme amongst human beings. So I think it does probably represent something.
Yeah.
And it sort of
represents an internal family.
Yes. Yeah. Or even an internal tribe, maybe, So I think, yeah, anyway, I just thought I'd mention that. I just find it quite interesting.
Me too.
And the other thing I just wanted to say too was that that little kid that I found a couple of sessions ago is still around and
Yay.
is and is extremely cute, and she's quite a staunch little number. You know, she there'll be things that I'll be doing, and I think, oh, I won't bother. She won't be interested in coming with me, you know, to do. But she always is. And you know, I went for a walk the other day, and it was cold. It was really cold, and there was a biting southerly wind, and yeah, our southerly winds come off the Antarctic, so that's why they're cold. Unlike your southerly winds, which probably come off the equator. But anyway, and I thought, oh, she probably won't want to come out. It's really freezing. But yeah, no, she was happy to come out. And, you know, her nose got cold and her fingers got cold, but she liked it. So anyway,
yeah,
she's
they're
still
capable. They're capable of so much more than we imagine.
Right. Yeah, she's yeah. There's bugger all she's not interested in doing. So that's quite nice.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, it's lovely actually. I really like it. So thank you for helping me find her.
Yeah. Yeah. Glad I could help.
Yeah. Well done. Well done, you.
So, as for our conversation today, would you like to start with a minute of meditation?
Yeah. Let's do that.
Okay. I'll set a timer.
Thank you.
All right. So,
Right.
any parts you'd like to get to know better or change your relationship with?
So, yeah, there's a couple of things. Sorry, I tend to start on the outside of the spiral and work my way into the point.
It's fine.
So I struggle with doing solos, you know, doing anything on my own, and when I say struggle, I mean that I get distracted so easily, and I did just then, and that I can't tell you how many things went through my head in that last little minute. And the other day, when I was trying to, you know, have a chat with someone and look inside, and I just couldn't. It was just. So there's this thing that distracts me all the time, a part that distracts me. So that's one thing. But the other thing that happened was that while I was busy being distracted, this other part came. And it's a very strange thing. It's very powerful. It's very black. It's very dark. It's very dense. It's very impenetrable. It sat on my park bench, and the clouds came over and everybody left the park. It was not a fun place to be anymore. And I kind of And it came despite the fact that I was distracted, thinking about everything else.
Uh-huh.
And it's a very weird part. And
Yeah.
and that might be something to look at. And the other thing that keeps coming up for me is lots of things to do with family relationships. That's what I get distracted by often when I'm trying to.
Okay. Yeah.
So, I don't know. I think probably it's that dark part, actually.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So when it came to sit with you, did you have conversation with it?
No.
Okay.
No, it refused. No,
Mm-hmm.
not refused, because to refuse would have acknowledged that I existed.
Mm-hmm.
And there was no interaction whatsoever.
Does
What
what were you going to say?
I was just going to say it was completely, there was no interaction. Yeah.
Okay. The distracting part, does it know about this other powerful black part? Is that one of the reasons why it distracts? Or is it kind of, yeah.
I don't know. My instant thing was to say, no, it doesn't know. But it isn't a question that I'd asked it. So
Yeah, and it might not be important. And the fact that the dark part showed up even when you were distracted might indicate that no, the distracting part isn't aware of it.
yeah, that's my sense. And
Okay.
I'd have to say too that after the dark part arrived and I had a little go at communicating and there was nothing, and then after that there were just like floods of tears for about 10 minutes.
Okay.
So there's something going on there.
And do you know what was behind those tears?
No, I mean, there was sadness. And I'm having a hard job right now. I could explain to you where I felt that dark part in my body, but I'm not. I'm explaining it rather than experiencing it. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
So I'm not sure what we can do if I can't feel it. What we can do. I'm a bit confused, James. I'm not sure what to do.
Okay. When the sadness came up,
Yeah.
did it feel like it was the dark part's sadness?
So I don't think the dark part was sad,
Okay.
but I think it gave me the sadness.
Okay.
It's really weird. The dark part, it knows that I exist as a kind of a theory because it knows that if I didn't exist, it wouldn't. But it's kind of like knowing that gravity exists, you know? It's not something that is not in the slightest bit interested in me.
Okay.
And when it did come, it came in my stomach like an enormous boulder, like just really heavy and really tight, and
Yeah. How do you feel towards it now?
I feel confused. I feel like I have no terms of reference for this thing. I don't know how to name it or classify it, or it just is, and it's so powerful. It is so strong. It kind of has an event horizon, like a black hole. And if you go near it, that's it. You're a goner. You disappear. And it doesn't care. Well, no, caring is too strong. Like a rock doesn't care. It just is.
Right.
Is it that sort of feeling? So I feel towards it. I feel invisible. I feel ineffective. I feel irrelevant. I feel.
Well, yeah. If it's made you disappear.
Yeah.
You have some experience with that, right? You know that it has that capability.
I know it has that capability. I guess I must have experienced that.
Either that or I was going to ask if maybe does it make that like a threat? Does it say, "Don't come near me, you'll disappear," or other parts saying that?
Yeah, it doesn't say anything at all because it doesn't know that I exist. So, so how do I know that? How do I know that? Not just me, everything disappears into it. Like I don't even. I'm not sure why the park bench is still there. Sorry.
I have a hypothesis.
Yes, go.
Because Self made that park bench, and Self said, "This is mine."
Yes.
Yeah. And Self said, "This is the place where any part can come and let me know how it feels."
Yes. Yes, I think that's a good hypothesis. And the interesting thing about this is that this part has come, but it's not telling me how it feels because it's not interested in me. But it has come to the park bench. That's interesting. Yeah.
How do you feel about going there with it now?
I feel it's a bit pointless.
Okay, well parts said that in the last conversation we had. They said, "Why are we going to go get to know this annoyed at the mother part? It doesn't want to talk to you. Nothing's gonna."
I'd forgotten that.
Yeah. So the ones that find the internal work pointless, those parts, you could ask them for space.
Yes. Okay, hang on a minute. Because I was going to go off on a loop there saying, "Oh, this is a different kind of pointless." But no, it's not really, is it? It's
It might be a different part with a different message. I'm just saying that I haven't seen a Self connect with a part and for it to not have some benefit, receive some knowledge, connection.
Some benefit to the self or some benefit to the part?
Both.
Both.
To the system, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so yes, I think you're right. I think there is a part telling me that it finds it hard to believe with this particular one. Like, you'd have to deny reality to believe that you can connect with a black hole. That's just absurd and dangerous. You disappear.
So it has the concern about disappearing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And how about you? Do you feel like there's a chance you'll disappear?
Yeah, there's definitely a chance. Yeah.
Okay. Let's stay with that for a little while.
The chance of disappearing?
Yeah.
Okay.
See if we can get to know that better.
Okay. Right. Okay, the chance of disappearing. When you have a work site and they put that orange plastic mesh stuff up around it, it's very flimsy, but it's busy surrounding me with that. And there's orange cones, and
it's trying to protect you.
Yes.
Yeah.
What it's putting up in relation to the power of this thing is kind of funny, but
right, which is also normal for parts. They try to protect, and yet they don't quite have
the right tools.
All of the needed tools.
Yes. Yeah. But what it does do, it's bright orange, so that it does attract my attention. I do notice it there. So that's helpful because it stops me going too close.
And again, this is the part that's worried about you disappearing, that's putting up the orange. Okay.
Yeah. It's very busy. It's running around waving its arms.
Okay. Yeah, maybe just see if you can get its attention. Ask it to turn towards you and notice you.
Okay. Sorry, go ahead.
You could try asking it how old it thinks you are.
Oh, okay. Hang on, I have to get its attention first.
Yeah.
It's very busy. It's got a lot to do. It's a lot of orange mesh. Okay. I think it's done with the mesh. So it can look at me now. It's got its arms on its hips. Kind of saying, you get the message? Don't come here. Don't come close. Stay away. And I'm telling you, I've got the message. I hear it.
Yeah. And we're hopefully we're respecting that by talking to it.
Okay, it's relaxed a bit because it knows I've got the message. Don't come close.
Yeah.
Okay, so what is it that I'm asking it now?
How old does it think that you are?
Well, okay. I'm getting a bunch of different. I'm getting 5, I'm getting 15, I'm getting 20. I'm even getting 30.
Does it have anything it wants to show you about maybe feeling like you were disappearing at any of those ages?
I've got about 5 distractors coming in saying,
Yeah?
no, 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 no. Nope, nope,
Okay.
nope, nope,
Welcome them. Hello, distractors.
nope. G'day, distractors. How you doing?
Yeah. They don't want to hear about that. They don't want to hear about that stuff
No.
from younger
No,
days,
no, no.
right?
No.
Right. Because disappearing, that's like the worst, right?
Yeah. Well, and not
Yeah.
only that, but they've got stuff that needs doing now. You know, like,
Oh, yeah?
yeah. I don't know what it is exactly, but you know, there's a list and there's an agenda and there's a and you we need to attend to them now.
Mm-hmm.
And that other stuff is, you know, gone. It's happened.
Right, right. Yeah, well, they're right.
Yeah, they are right. And they're nodding their heads, going, yeah, we know we're right.
Yep. It's all in the past.
It's all in the past, for heaven's sake.
Yep. Yep.
Can't change the past.
Nope.
So they're relaxing a little bit that I seem to have understood that what they're saying. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think we can change the past.
No. So they're asking me, so what the hell are you doing then?
Mm-hmm.
So
Do you have an answer?
What the hell am I doing? Well,
I have a question.
yeah, go.
If it's all in the past, why are they all here? What are we doing here?
That's very good. Hang on a minute, I'm going to ask them. They're conferring with each other to come up with an answer.
Okay.
Because they haven't got one. It hasn't, they're going, where the fuck did that come from? What are you talking about? Why are we here? What's the answer? How do we know? They don't know. They don't know.
Yeah.
They just
they can't see it.
no.
They can see what they see, which is danger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just think that's a really dumb question. Not because the question is dumb, but because it doesn't interest them.
Mm-hmm. Right.
They don't know why. And they haven't got an explanation, and that's fine. Why should they have an explanation as to why they're here? They're allowed to be here.
They are certainly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're throwing it back to me.
Great.
Really.
Yeah. So all these parts are here. The dark part is here.
Yes.
The worried about disappearing part is here. Putting up the orange stuff. These distracting parts are here.
Yeah.
Someone mentioned various ages, 5, 15, 20, 30.
Yeah.
And it's all right here, right now.
Yes. It's a bit mad. Everything's a bit mad.
Yes. Well, maybe you can reflect that back to them and say, this is all here now. And the madness is not necessary.
The image that came to my mind, many eons ago, I was a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
And the image that came to my mind was a classroom of kids out of control. And we cannot get anything done while you're all running around like maniacs. And it's not because you're being naughty, and it's not because you don't, it's just that.
Right. Yeah, it's not a
we've got-
judgment. It's just
No, it's just that you lot have got to get to grips with the idea that that we somehow have to work together on this, that we have to
right.
acknowledge that we're in a classroom, and I don't think my parents are in a classroom. That's just an analogy.
Yeah, maybe
we sort of have,
Mhm. I agree with you that you need their help. You need them to work with you. But
Yeah.
unlike a classroom, well, maybe it could be like a classroom, but they can all go outside while you work with one.
Oh,
You know, you don't need all of the classroom.
no, I can't let them go
all
outside.
studying the same
Yes.
thing at the same time.
No, exactly. I can't let them go outside because that's a bit unsafe.
Okay.
But they can each have a quiet activity while in the classroom, while I do my job as a teacher, which is to help each of them, but not all at once.
Right. And specifically, if you were to go to this dark part,
yes,
you could have a day off of being the teacher in the classroom. You could have a lunch break or whatever, and you could go to the park bench, for example.
Yes.
They don't have to protect you and manage you in that way. And they don't have to participate in the education of you or this other part of your connection.
No, they can go hang out with each other for a bit. Go and play jump rope or something.
What do they think about that?
Yeah, they get the concept. They're a bit bemused by it.
Yeah. And again, I don't want to be dismissive. I don't want to just say, well, that's dumb. You know, your concerns don't matter. But sometimes their concerns are that they think that it's going to all come back on them.
Yeah. And their concerns kind of interfere with each other. You know, this one's concern interferes with that one's concern.
Right.
And the other one, a new one comes in, and it just gets mad. You know, it just gets chaotic and crazy.
Maybe you can update all of them on your age.
Yeah, okay. Hang on. It got their attention. They're talking amongst themselves about it. Some of them get it. Others not so much. But I think most of them have accepted that.
Yeah. And they're also, any of them are welcome to jump back in if they need to. If somebody does need to pull the fire alarm, they can do that.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes a couple of them feel a bit better. Oh, they come and go a bit. They come and go, I mean, in terms of how they're feeling about it. You know, 1 minute
Yeah,
they're saying,
okay.
that's cool, and then the next minute they're going, oh, I don't know.
Yeah. How's the afraid of disappearing part?
I've got to figure out where it is in the crowd. Yeah, it's quite skeptical.
Okay.
It's willing to herd all the others away, but you sort of, wish them out somewhere. Well, not wish them out, but just sort of reassure them that it's okay. But it's not so willing itself to go.
Okay.
Yeah, it wants to keep an eye.
Okay.
Doesn't want to interfere necessarily, but it sure wants to keep an eye. Because the thing of it is that it happens very quickly.
Right. Right. Okay.
So it's got to be around to. It's got to step in the blink of an eye. Yeah.
Sounds like a reasonable compromise. I mean, it went from needing you to be completely surrounded by all the orange stuff to willing to use that towards other parts and to say, okay, let me just keep an eye. Let me keep an eye out.
Yeah. The orange stuff is still there. I'll have to say he hasn't, because I haven't asked them to remove it.
Mm-hmm.
And he says no, I'm not removing it. You can
Early-
talk. You
Yeah.
you might be able to talk over it to the black, but I'm not taking it away.
Okay. Earlier when we asked this part if it wanted to show us anything about 5, 15, 20, 30,
Yeah.
it these other parts came in. It seemed like it really didn't want to do that, and we respected that. I didn't say no, we have to hear about what happened when you were 5, and I just wanted to know that protocol, that rule will stay in effect when you're working with any part, which is if something doesn't want you to go there, and it really, really doesn't want you to go there, we can respect that.
Yeah. It's saying too, right? You'll respect it.
Yeah. And if this part wanted to tell you in private, if it was said, okay, I do want to tell you something about the 5-year-old just between you and me, that would also be fine. It wouldn't have to be shared with me.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah. And that's one of the things that I'm concerned, if there's all this orange tape between you and the part you're trying to get to know, that it might be hard. Maybe this part does want to tell you a secret, but it has to yell it over. It has to yell it over the fence, and it can just make it all. In a way, it can kind of make it less safe.
What do you mean?
Well, again, in that same kind of idea of it's harder for it to tell you a secret. It's harder for it to, to connect.
Yeah.
In a way that you're really clear on saying, okay, I know what that's about. That's not getting jumbled and filtered.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I think it definitely knows stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it definitely knows about the disappearing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's its main concern.
Okay.
Like the stuff that it knows, for it, the stuff that it knows is not the important bit. For it, the important thing is me not disappearing. That's what's important.
Yeah. And did you update it on your real age? Did it get that?
It was part of the group. I'll check again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it knows. It knows. It's kind of it doesn't want to be rude. So it's kind of saying, I get it, but it's not relevant. I get it, but this is
Not relevant to the safety and the keeping you from disappearing.
No.
I appreciate its patience because here I am trying to negotiate all these different ways, and it's being clear. It's being clear about what it thinks and what it needs.
Yeah.
And I think that's great.
Yeah. It's very staunch.
Yeah.
But not in an in your face kind of way.
Mm-hmm.
It just knows what its job is, and it does its job.
How do you feel towards it?
I feel quite grateful, actually.
Yeah. Will you show it that?
Appreciative. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hang on. Yeah. Yeah, I'm telling it the orange mesh is rather attractive. And I get why it's there. And yeah, it saved me before. It has saved me. Oh.
You okay? Is it too much?
It just happened so quick.
Okay. It showed you when it saved you.
It didn't show me anything. I just knew it.
Yeah.
It was really scary.
Okay. Just ask. You can ask any part. If any part's too scary, you can ask any part to turn it down.
Yeah, the part isn't scary. What it saved me from was scary.
Yeah. Okay. I
don't even know what it was.
Okay. We can thank it for, again, saving you from something very scary.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That happened so fast.
Okay.
Like it went from 0 to 1,000 in a... I don't know what to do, James. I'm a bit lost.
Okay. I would turn back to this part with its protective mechanism.
Yeah.
And just thank it. This is very real. This is very scary.
Yeah.
It was absolutely right that this can just show up in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
And that it for it to feel safe, it needs to keep an eye on you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's welcome to do that.
Yeah.
And I also want to apologize to you, to any of these parts. You know, if I've been unskillful and led you to this in a way that felt
No,
unsafe.
James. No.
Well,
Please don't.
okay, but
It's fine.
I'm
It's
apologizing to that part because
okay.
I can see how, you know, how I can be the bad guy here if it sees me as pushing
I
you
see.
towards that kind of stuff.
I see. Yeah. Okay. No, it doesn't see you as the bad guy. It just sees us as or something. I don't know if it. Something just sees us as just figuring this out together, and
Yeah,
it's okay. I'm still here.
that's
I
right.
didn't disappear. So we're
That's
doing all
right.
right. We're doing okay. You're doing okay.
You're doing okay.
Yeah, we all are.
Yeah.
That was just like a little. Whoa.
Okay. It's good to know what we're up against, what we're dealing with here.
Yeah. Yes, indeed.
Is there anything that this part wants to tell you about, more about its role, or what it thinks about what just happened, or anything? The protective part.
Yeah. What it thinks about what just happened is that it's very familiar with that.
Uh-huh.
It's seen that. It's seen that.
Yeah.
Lots of times.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why it has to stay here.
Yep.
It can't be too far away.
Mm-hmm.
What were some of the other questions you said? Because I think it would like to tell me some stuff about what it does, but I it's waiting for me to.
I'd love to know all about what it does. Anything it wants to tell you.
Okay. So it's basically 24/7.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very what it does is that the things that it has to know about, or it has to pay attention to, or it has to be aware of, those things aren't always huge, great, big things.
Mm-hmm.
They are very small things, but the very small things can trigger the big things. So it has to know about the big things, but it has to be focused on the little tiny things as well.
Mm.
It has to be really aware of every little nuance and every little
24/7.
Yeah, 24/7. And it has to, at the same time as it's focused on these little things, it has to know all the time about the avalanche, about the. So it's this really. There's this really complicated little role of paying attention to the big and the small all at the same time.
Mm-hmm. And it's got familiarity with both of those? Like
Oh yeah.
earlier? Yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's got a whole running list of all the little tiny things it has to keep an eye on. You know, it keeps getting added to, and it has to. It can't let the new one coming in at the bottom of the list bump the old one off the top. It has to keep them all.
Mm-hmm. And the big things, it also.
Yeah. There's only one big thing, really. There's just one big thing, and it's just it's obliteration, really. It's Avalanche. So it has to know about that. It has to know about all
So when the small things accumulate, if too many of them get past the net, then that one big thing knocks you out.
Actually, it's not even accumulation. I don't. It can just be one little thing on its own, without any relationship to any other little thing. But the number of little things grows, but they're not. But any one of them can. Do you see what I'm saying? Is that it's a long list of things, but they don't pile up on each other.
Right. It can be just one.
It can be just one.
Wow. It's a hell of a job.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a very long list of things.
How's
it's
it like?
Sort of like, I was just going to say, it's a whole kind of ecosystem that he has to manage. Yeah.
How does he like doing that job?
Well, like doesn't come into it, really.
Doesn't come in. It's got to be done, right? Yeah.
He's looking at me going, like, what the fuck are you on about?
Yeah. Well, maybe another way to say it. What is it like for him?
What is it like for him doing the job?
Yeah.
You know what? He does have some job satisfaction.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's got some power.
Yeah,
he's good at it.
He's quite good at what he does.
Mm-hmm.
And that Avalanche, he's kept it away for a while.
Yeah. I was so impressed earlier when there was a classroom full of parts, and this one part was just able to say, "Whoop, here comes the net, orange thing, out you go." And I was like, wow.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
It's impressive.
Yeah, he's strutting a bit.
Yeah. Bravo.
He knows that his job is really, really important.
Yeah. Does he know that you know that? Does he feel like you get that?
I'll do that. Hang on. No, he thought he was the only one that knew it was important.
Right. He's felt kind of all alone in caring about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't. There's no one that he reports to and gets a job evaluation. He just has to do that for himself. He's very self-sufficient.
Yeah. How's he like being able to talk about it with you and I?
Cautiously okay. Like, not sure what's going to be done with this information that he's letting us know about.
Mm-hmm. I don't know either.
No.
Just want to be upfront about that.
He's just looking at us like, well, of course you fucking don't. You've never done it before. I've been here for a while.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm just curious.
Yeah.
I might have parts that act similarly, but...
Oh, really?
Maybe, I don't, I think that in general, pretty much every part I've ever heard from someone else has resonated with one of my own. But
Right.
I wouldn't want to compare. I'm not trying to say
Right.
I know all about it.
Right. Okay. Yeah. But there's a wee vibe there. Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's chilled out quite a bit, I'll have to say. Not going anywhere,
Great.
but chilled out a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What would he like to be doing if he didn't have to work so hard in this role?
He doesn't understand that question.
Okay. Because this has been full time.
Yeah.
It just doesn't even come up.
No. Like something else isn't even in his conceptual.
Yeah. How do you feel towards him when you hear that about him?
Yeah, I feel quite I feel quite compassionate towards him. Yeah. He's his world is entirely this, and he doesn't even have the ability to conceive of anything else. It's so all-consuming, and that I feel a bit sad about that.
Can you show him that? And is he able to receive that compassion?
I'll have a go. He doesn't quite understand what I'm talking about, but he does understand that it's coming from a caring place.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's it's a new thing.
Mm-hmm.
He's kind of feeling his way around it a wee bit. He's never had that before.
Earlier he said that your age was irrelevant.
Yeah. It's irrelevant still. He's a little bit interested now, but it still doesn't matter very much. But it's kind of,
It might not matter, but today is the first day he's felt this compassion from you.
Yes. Yeah, definitely.
So we can mark that day in the calendar.
Yeah. And he's agreeing to that. Yeah, happy to acknowledge that. I'll put a tick next to that one.
Mm-hmm.
What did we call him again?
You could ask him what he'd like to be called.
Okay. I'm not getting anything. That's really weird. I've got an image, but I haven't got a name.
Well, we know he's protective.
Yes. And we know he has a lot of orange webbing.
And we know he has a lot of information and understanding about other parts, a lot of ability to work with them or keep them out.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes. And we know that he's done a bloody good job. So, it's
right.
Yeah, he's saying about my age is that in a way my age is his affirmation that he's doing a good job. Because if he wasn't,
yeah,
yeah, Yeah, yeah.
You would
If he
have
wasn't,
been
I might not
obliterated.
be. Yeah. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
How would
Sorry,
he
what's
like to
that?
be on the park bench with you? Or is there
Yeah.
somewhere he would like to go with you just to be?
Yeah, I don't think he wants to be on the park bench just yet, but he wouldn't mind wandering around the park a wee bit.
Mm-hmm.
And
You've made it a nice day again?
yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes, we're back to sunshine and little kids, dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he'd quite like to do that. He'd like to wander through the park.
Yeah. And now you can keep an eye on him for a moment.
Yeah. We can probably wander together.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we're not going to get sort of, deep and meaningful with each other, but
Okay. I think you have.
yeah. But we can talk about what's going on in the park,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. What else does he want to tell you about what's going on?
Oh, he just wants to comment on what the kids are doing and that dog over there that's got the zoomies and that old lady who's with the walker and keeping an eye on her, and he just wants to. He quite likes just looking at what's going on in the park and not having to, and knowing that he doesn't have to. He can put his attention somewhere else instead of on all those little minutiae of things on his list that he has to keep an eye on. So he quite enjoys just.
Yeah. He likes looking out, but he'd rather do it in this relaxed way.
Yeah. And as long as I'm close enough that he can keep an eye on me if needs be. So we can wander together and have chats about things. He'd like that. So as long as these bloody distractors don't come in, I'll try doing that with him. I was trying to talk to any part, I get distracted. Sorry, I've jumped tracks here, I think.
No, it's fine. I mean, if there's more that you want to discuss with him now, it's fine by me. Just take your time.
So I think where we've got is that I've told him I would like to hang out with him a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
That it doesn't have to be all deep and meaningful, that it can just be about figuring out if we've seen that tree before or not.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's happy to do that. He would quite like to do that. And I don't know where the concern is coming from, but the concern is that all those other distractors will rush in and stop me even doing that.
Okay.
Even just hanging out and.
Yeah, they might try. So is
Yeah,
there anything you or this part want to brainstorm or think about how you might handle that if and when they try? Or any other way to set up your meetings?
Yeah. I think, this is a bit odd. I don't know what's happening. So right now he's telling me that he's the only one that can control them.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas I would have thought that as self, I'd have some say in that. So I don't, I'm getting a bit mixed up between him and me now.
Well, I think I'm agreeing with him that he has demonstrated over the years his ability to control the distracting parts and to control so many other parts. And what he hasn't seen is you, self, doing that. He hasn't experienced self's compassion for him until just now. So,
True.
I mean, it all makes sense to me that.
Yeah. I think the deal we have to make, him and me, is that he has to be left to manage all these distraction parts.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to be cool with that because it means him and I can go for a walk.
How's that sound to you?
Sense? Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense to me, but...
Makes sense to me.
Does it?
Yeah.
There's a part of me that's really uncertain about it.
The part that's saying, wait, I thought self could run the show. I thought that was the idea.
Yeah, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or is there some... Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Or just another part that is just going, you don't know about any of this shit, man.
This part does. It's been doing it 24/7.
Yeah. The part
I'm trusting its authority here. It's the expert on what it needs.
Yeah. The uncertain parts is okay then. Okay, you can trust him because he's been doing it forever.
Right.
And
and you're following in that you're saying, okay, part, that's what you need. And I'm happy to go for a walk with you if we don't have to go anywhere you don't want to go.
Yeah, absolutely. And what I'm also getting is that none of that diminishes me.
It doesn't, no. Mm-mm. No, that's a strength. That's one of the qualities of self, is that it can be genuinely curious and compassionate without an agenda and without the idea that it has to fix everything or that there's some big hurry.
Yeah, or that it needs to be all powerful in some way. It's not about.
It's the only part that can do. It's not a part. It's the only thing that can do what this part had never experienced, which was show genuine compassion for it.
Yeah. And I'd really like to have a break in the park every so often. I think that would be. I think it would be very healthy for it.
I think so too. It sounds great.
Yeah. Okay, I think there's another part, not entirely sure that it's going to stick.
Mm-hmm.
That any of this is going to stick. But there's nobody that's saying it's the wrong thing to do.
That sounds pretty good.
Yeah. It's a whole system in flux.
Absolutely.
And it's
the parts are all a buzz, and also you figuring out how to do parts work is also in flux. You don't right, you don't have this routine necessarily with this part, or you still have doubts and questions about, which part am I, what's going on here, and so you have the double flux.
Yeah. The observer and the observed, everything is everything's been thrown up in the air a little bit, and where it all, I just had an image of a whole bunch of autumn leaves being thrown up in the air. And they're all going flutter, 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 flutter. Where the hell are they all going to land? Nobody knows. They don't know. Nobody knows. It's all
Yeah.
But
And
they're
yet you can see, they're pretty. They are pretty, and you can see that this isn't pointless.
Yeah. Well, not even as strong as that. I can't say that this isn't pointless. What I can see is that there's probably a point in all of this.
Yeah, ask that little girl that's been following you around if there's any point in all of it.
Oh. She just says she likes autumn leaves. She's a kicking them up, man. She's having the ball.
Okay.
Yeah. Wow. This is some crazy shit, James. This is really...
I know it.
Oh my God.
Okay. Enjoy your meetings with this part.
Yes. Yeah, I will. Well, let's not count our chickens.
Okay.
We'll see how it goes.
If there's any way that, checking in with me helps you in that, if you ever want to send me a text or anything like that, or some people just like to have that kind of accountability buddy, and I like it too. I just started a new type of parts work habit today that I want to implement, and just kind of a new time of day and a new something I'm changing.
Yeah.
And I know how valuable it is for me to have someone have some way to track that, someone to tell about that, put it on my calendar. I use all kinds of
I think for me it's not so much about accountability as just checking in that with someone to say this is real, like this is not just this is not just some sort of self-wanking part of myself.
It's very real.
I think that's what
that experience you had a moment ago of going from 0 to 1,000 is very real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yes. And that's sort of what I need, I think, is a reminder of that this isn't just playing games. This actually is real. Yeah. And a reminder of how it was real. So I might use you for that, if that's okay.
Great. I got a podcast you can check out.
I do, mate. Every day I check it out.
Do you really? Oh, wow.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll keep making them then.
Yeah. You do that. You do that. Okay. I think I might go out into my crispy blue today.
All right. Thank you. Thank you to all your parts.
Yeah. And thanks, James. I appreciate it. I really do.
My pleasure.
Okay.
We'll talk soon.
Catch you later. Yeah.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Do you want to help bring more self-energy to the world? If you'd like to participate in calls or help out with this project in any way, I'd love to hear your ideas. Join the Discord server or contact me at james@liveifs.com. A huge thanks to our audio engineer, Yvonne, for your care and diligence in editing the calls. To every caller for your courage in sharing some of your parts. And to anyone out there getting to know their internal system, keep going.
Who knows? That might be the most selfless, helpful thing you can do for others, and you're the only one who can do it. If you'd like to see us reach the largest audience, we must please the almighty suggestion algorithms at iTunes and YouTube. And they don't care about the power of IFS. They're looking for likes and shares and comments, and the sooner the better. Follow the links in the show notes right here in your podcast player to make your wishes known. And now, a minute of meditation. Or if you prefer, pull over. You can do it in 60 seconds. Just click one of those links. They're right there, and give us a like or a 5-star rating. It would really help. If you think this project is helping people, you're helping people by sharing it. Thank you.